It's delicious though.
No, that looked good though.
We had that before.
Yeah.
The broccoli burps?
They're at Brûlée. They have these grilled broccoli and hummus with like this little drizzle. It's so good. But now
drizzle.
I'm burping up the
aioli drizzle.
You're not fucking sitting across from the fucking animal.
It's got that mayonnaise. It's their homemade mayonnaise.
That aioli, yeah.
Oh, that stuff will sit in your
That stuff
gut.
is solid.
Oh man! So if you hear that we got a third party in the house, that's because we finally got a friend Tom to come down and see us. He got up off of his lazy ass and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go hang out with the cool kids."
Yeah, I got nothing going on.
Seriously, I mean, what do? You don't do nothing. Every time you ever text him, like, "What are you doing?" I'm just sitting on the couch, right?
I don't text him during the day because I know he's working.
Yeah.
So if we text, it's like after 9. It's like, what? Hey, yo.
Yeah, he knows my schedule because by then, the wife's in bed, the kids are in bed, and I'm just chilling on the couch.
You got your little spot on the couch though.
You got his feet in the
That's
the
my spot.
machine.
It's fucking so bad. Oh, you got the machine for your feet now?
Hell yeah, I got the
Fucking
machine.
guy. Look at this. I'm surprised you didn't get one of those massage chairs like Andrew.
Nah.
Those things are dangerous.
This is actually the OGs of what Jiu-Jitsu Radio is
Yeah,
supposed to be.
this is actually the first. Speaking of which, when we started off right then, so let's crack these
I was
open.
actually thinking about that the other day. I was like, because I've been up in Raleigh coming up on 3 years.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to Tom. Yeah, you moved up there 3 years ago now.
3 years June.
He was like legit got his blue belt and left. It was literally what happened.
Hey, I got 2 stripes after that. I got 2 stripes after that.
He got 2 stripes after that.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I mean,
it might have been a going away present.
Yeah, it might have been like one of those.
The second one might have been a going away.
It might have been like,
if I give you this,
knowing you, see you.
If I give you this stripe, will you stay a little bit longer? I'm trying to pull those fucking jiu-jitsu politics on us. I see what you're doing, fucking guy.
It's about the family, man.
Oh man. So how's North Carolina?
Love it, dude. Should have done it a long time ago.
You think so?
Yeah.
He probably should have done it 6 years ago. That's 6 years before he moved.
Your life changed nothing for the better when you met me and went down.
You said that exactly right. Nothing for the better.
Nothing but the better. And it went down the shithole as soon as I left, and you know it.
No. Yeah, I mean, we got, what, fucking fights every weekend. We got to train, skateboard all the time. Then this guy left. It's like,
pool.
Yeah, now we got nothing.
Hot tub. Lukewarm tub. Let's be honest. Tom used to hate to put on the heater.
Yeah, you never put. Well,
no, you know why? Because it took forever, dude.
Yeah.
And so it was a pain in the ass to switch everything over. And then if you know what happened if I didn't switch it back, the whole pool drains.
Really? What?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a setup that they did because I wanted it to be able to heat the pool, or heat the hot tub, or heat them both. And so somehow when they did it, they had to somehow pipe it in a way that if you messed up and you didn't shut one valve, it drains everything.
Fucking tough times all around, huh? First world problems.
That was seawater.
Fucking tough life over here.
I was so close to getting the manual one that you worked with your app, but then I decided to sell the house. I'm like, I'm not spending $5,000.
That was saltwater, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. That pool was dope, man.
Fucking
there's only been one there was the biggest drawback for Tom moving to North Carolina is the fact that
we're not there anymore.
No, that's not even it. It's the lack of being able to train.
Well, that's a whole different thing. That's kind of like what kind of kicked up the idea of the podcast. Besides him just being here, there's a whole fucking reason why he can't train. Are we allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, no. But
really,
what
it
started
comes down to the kids.
Yeah, what came down to is I made just an effort, knowing that the move, I wanted the transition to be as smooth as possible, as easy as possible on them, and I wanted to make sure that I was there, when they got home from school, and it was about them getting acclimated to the area and getting into sports, and I just decided I would take a break and because unfortunately they don't train anymore.
You got that blue belt blues?
No, they don't. It would be easier if. But
you didn't have any school nearby enough to do it.
No, there is. There's a really good school nearby, and they have some programs that are legit. And I met the black belt. He's obviously did my research and
right.
But yeah, the kids just lost interest for now, and I don't want to force it on them. So
I told him earlier.
Closer to you.
I told him earlier it might be time to force it. It's like when the kid's young, like
No,
they don't
you
understand.
can't.
No,
You can't.
you can't at a certain age. You can force it. Look, you're going, and this is what's going to happen. And either when they're done and out of the house, or when their schedule fills up, like
They got a pretty tight schedule now, anyway.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
would agree with you if like they weren't doing shit but playing video games all day. But those kids are probably just as busy as I am, if not more.
yeah, Jackson definitely. Zach's a maybe. Zach's definitely. He's on that cusp where he may have to go. He doesn't realize it yet. It probably until he hears
here's
this.
the thing, and I'm all for, like, I've talked about this with other people before. I'm fine with kids not forcing kids to do sports because, and what I mean by that is, like, why force a kid to play baseball or football or soccer or tennis or golf if they don't like it? Because that's a waste of money. Because
Yeah, because they're not gonna get anything out of it.
if
They're
you
gonna have
force a kid into martial arts, they're going to get stuff out of that they are going to walk away from. They're going to walk away with for the rest of their lives. They're going to get some skills. They're going to get some confidence. They're going to get some of these intangibles that you can't really get from other sports. And and even though it's a forcing, but it's forcing. These kids need to know how to defend themselves.
Well, they don't realize that they're building up like skills.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Jackson and the sports that he's playing, it's directly related to jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and all the grappling he did, the judo stuff, all that stuff plays into him and how he's just a beast on the field.
Tell him the story about the big kid. The
other day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a big, Jackson's not the biggest kid on the field, but there's always one kid who's like, 3 heads above everybody else, and for some reason they think that they're going to run Jackson over, and it just doesn't happen. They're the ones that are usually end up on the ground, and he's the one that takes the ball and keeps going. He's 84 pounds of muscle.
You know what he'd be good at? Like when he gets old enough to do it, is rugby. That kid would be a fucking monster.
When we introduced him to lacrosse, he's like, "Wait a minute, I get to put pads on and like hit people with a stick," and I'm like, "Dude, it's not a sword. Like you can't beat him over the head with it." But yeah,
did you hear about the scoring with the lacrosse that Jackson did?
No.
Okay.
Did you tell me? I think you did.
So first of all, he never lost a face-off. Never played lacrosse. Ever.
Never played lacrosse before.
Picks up a stick, just athletic. He's 10.
Right.
He gets out there and he's just running. He's so fast. He just runs through people around him, and they can't. Once he learns how to actually play, it's going to be interesting.
Like most of the games, Jackson outscored the other team.
Yeah.
Oh, like everybody.
Like if the score was 7-2, he had 5.
Oh, right.
He had 5 goals.
That's good.
Like he's just like he picked up on lacrosse
yeah, just a natty.
And that was after the coach would put him on defense because they're like, all right, dude, you can't keep scoring.
Shut up, really?
Yeah, it's
what a dick move.
It's like 7-8-2.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Pele, you're gonna have to go to the back.
Well, you know what though, I'm all for coaches doing shit like that to their star players.
For what?
Because it teaches them that it's not about them; it's about there's a whole team aspect to the sport. And to be a well-rounded
and the team
player,
depends on you to score fucking goals.
Well, if you're up 8-2, why not put the guy in a?
Is there a mercy rule?
Yeah.
Bro, that's why. That's why, because he didn't want to end up mercy ruling every fucking team, and then the rest of the guys can't play.
Yeah, the only league that he plays in that there's no mercy rule is his club soccer. But he's the only kid. There's 14 kids on the team. He plays center back. He's the only kid that plays the whole game.
So he's sweeper, stopper or sweeper?
Stopper.
Yeah, that's why. That kid is made to be a stopper or sweeper.
Yeah.
Like the only reason why they probably wouldn't put him in sweeper is because he would have to be a little bit, taller.
Yeah.
But he's perfect for a stopper position.
Well, we asked this coach. We said, why don't you ever play him in any other position? He said, because I want center back sees the whole field.
Yeah.
So as young as he is, he watches, he's like, I look at Jackson, he watches the game. He sees everything, and then he learns what to do and what not to do in those other positions, hopefully.
Yeah. What's going to end up happening with him, because his ball control got better, so he's then got to switch out to the wing. So depending on the formations that they do with soccer, if you're a stopper, and there's the stopper and the sweeper, and then the goalie, right? So really what you can do is as a stopper, you can switch out to the wing and then you cut up all the way to the side.
But for some reason, he loves playing goalie.
Yeah, because he likes to see people's heart break when they're going for that shot.
Yeah, he's too small. They have
Yeah.
big goals now. Like anybody that has any skills will just pop it over his
Pop
head.
it over his head, yeah.
That's the tough
But he-
part. That's
like-
what I'm saying. Like because when I played, I was attacking center, but then they switched me out to the wings because I would always cross. So then when you get like a stopper or like an attacking like mid like on the wing, the whole game you're running up and down. Like you're made to run up and down and cross or go for the goals and stuff. That's probably where he's gonna end up, especially if he sees the field that well.
What I really would like, he probably won't do it, but you never know. If he goes to public school, I want him to wrestle so bad.
Yeah.
If he wrestles, Jack, like if Jack learns wrestling, like real wrestling, and then goes back to jiu-jitsu,
That'd be a beast.
He's the way he finds backs is unnatural. Like whenever he grapples, just
Turns
playing.
corners, finds
But he's
backs,
getting,
and he's
he's an aggressive kid like that.
Yeah, but finding a back, like the way he the way he crawls around it to get to it, like you know, like it's one of those things that he just understands.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna crawl around.
Well, that's what's gonna happen is like the day that he learns to stay calm, to focus, to do that stuff, it's fucking over.
Yeah.
That kid is gonna be an animal.
Well, the thing about, I guess, for the listeners is his balance, his core strength, his agility, that all comes from starting, jiu-jitsu and judo at 3 years old.
Yeah, you started him off young.
Yeah, and he did it for how many years?
4
or 5 years.
Yeah.
Dude, one of my favorite things, like I to this day, if I close my eyes, I can still see it. Him and his little gi, and like they used to do these little obstacle courses, and you would have to jump over the bags, and then he would have to throw a kick.
Yeah.
He had the most adorable little kick, dude. This kid, but even then, even at 3, he was trying to. He wasn't like just putting his leg out there.
No, he was trying to kick a hole in
He was trying to kick a hole in the bag.
No, that kid's definitely like wait till he's old enough to start giving you shit back. Then
But
you're gonna
then
have a problem.
Zach's who I'm worried about with Muay Thai and stuff like that, because he got his technique down, and he got to a point where, I mean, even
we have video of it.
Yeah.
It's like pop, 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 pop.
Dude, some of his trainers wouldn't use like the pad, like the leg pads for the shin guards.
Yeah.
And they stopped that real quick after a certain amount of time when Zachary would lay into him.
Yeah, especially now he's getting like taller, he's like skinny, like that leg is coming at you quick, man.
Yep.
That's no fucking joke. I give you the CBD. That stuff's good. So I wanted to get into it because you and I used to train a lot. Like we were like Tom was my main training partner every time we trained at Jocko, and then he moved like an asshole. But when you moved to North Carolina, then you started kind of questioning your health, and you went to the doctor and you found out something.
Yeah. So it was, I was 49 years old. Was creeping up on me. It was sometime in July. It was right around my mom's birthday, and I was like, man, I haven't really had a physical in forever.
Is this when you found out you had the world's smallest penis?
No, that's when I found out that you were the biggest dick I know.
Okay. Just wondering.
No.
Exactly.
Fucking guy.
But, I was just sitting there one day at work, and I was like, what's the worst that can happen? I'm like, I'm going to get the oil changed.
That's not the way to go into a physical.
I'm literally like, I'm going to get my oil changed, and some dude's going to jug on my nuts, right? And I'm like, but,
there's worse ways to spend your afternoon.
I get double digits in my booty hole, and then I'll be good to go.
What people don't know is, my mom died when she was 50, and it came out of nowhere. And I'm like, I got a wife, I got 2 kids. I want to make sure I'm around forever. And so I went to the doctor. It was weird, man, because when I called up, they're like, oh, the first available appointment's August 14th, which happens to be my birthday. I was like, all right, cool, I'll go. That sounds like it. So I went in, and the doctor, did a physical. He's like, great shape. He's like, you have a heart murmur? I was like, yeah, I've been told that before. He's like, ever get it checked out? And I'm like, no, nobody ever really told me to check it out. And he's like, you should go get it checked out. I'm going to order you an echocardiogram with Doppler, go get it checked out. I was like, all right. So I called up a week later, a couple weeks later, went in, and I knew something was up because the the person doing the test is like, hey, you mind if I like stop real quick and go get like a supervisor?
Oh shit.
Yeah, like I wanna make sure some of these measurements are right. And I was like, uh-oh, what's going on here? So, 2 days later, get a call from my doctor. You need to go see a cardiologist. They found some things. This is not something you want to really mess around with. Those type of conversations. So 2 days later, I was in with a cardiologist, and he's like, it was weird because he's like, any dizziness, any, chest pains, any back pains, any shortness of breath. I'm like, none of that. He's like, dude, you are lucky. He's like, you have a bicuspid aortic valve with an ascending aortic aneurysm. So at the top of your heart, there's a valve that's supposed to have 3 leaflets that open up.
Right.
And mine only has like 1 incision, like a football. So blood is flowing through there, like it's powering through there. Instead of this like big opening for blood to flow through, there's a slit.
Right.
And so what happens is 2 things. Calcium builds up quicker, and it can lead to an aneurysm, which it did in my case. And so, depending on who does the measurements, 5 centimeters is the threshold to have surgery. So they measured it at 4.7 based on an MRI that I had done. And then, which was interesting, that was a 2-hour process of...
in the machine?
In the machine for 2 hours, dude.
It's so bad. I did an hour. Have you had an MRI?
No, but I don't know if I don't think I don't fit.
You'd fit because they can change it around, but it's, bro, that is the fucking
worst. Well, the
worst.
The only thing that bothered me the most was you're literally lying on like a steel sheet of metal.
Yeah.
And like my back was seizing up.
Yeah. Like, a little like, they don't give no cushion?
They do, but it's not.
It's just enough to keep you still.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And then like they give you earplugs because it's a loud fucking machine. It sounds like you're in the middle of a tornado. It's just don't. And it's like, did you have your eyes open?
No, I was able to have music on.
Oh, okay.
Because they were really concentrating on my heart.
Yeah.
And so the good news is I have a heart.
That's good.
It's proven.
You're still cold bastard.
It's still black, but it's
black, but it's there.
Yeah, that shit is not fun, man. Like I tried, like halfway through, I'd like open my eyes to check it out, and I'd start to panic.
Yeah.
Because like you're there, it's like it feels like you're in a fucking coffin. It's like I can't. I'm usually pretty good at staying calm, but like I'd like chill. I'd open my eyes just to see like where I was at, and I'd see the fucking wall like right on my face. Like, no, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that was 2 hours of interesting thought process going through it, actually.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So then what happened?
So then from there, they got the results back, and the cardiologist is like, hey, this is not something like you got to go see a surgeon. So Tara, my wife, being the research junkie that she is, and luckily we're in North Carolina, so you got Duke, you got UNC, you got some of the best.
Well,
hospitals.
Not just in North Carolina, at the area where they're at. Like it's not like, oh, I got to drive 2 hours. No, it's like you got to drive 20 minutes and you're where you need to be.
So super blessed. We found the guy at Duke that literally has been doing it for 20 years. He does it, does these 3-4 times a day. This type of surgery. I was able to get in with him pretty immediately within a week, and his name's Chad Hughes, Dr. Chad Hughes up at Duke Medical Center. So we met with him. It's interesting. The room is like half this size, and it's a teaching hospital. And there's like 8 people in the room. It's like him, his physician's assistant, his like assisting doctor, and then students.
Yeah.
So you're like literally, it's me and Tara in the room. There's
like a world-renowned heart doctor. It's like, this is my closet.
Yeah, they're like, right in your face. But he took a look at all of the tests that I had done, and then he took his own measurement, and he's like, you are 5 centimeters. He's like, that's the fact. He said, but you're not a smoker, you're not a drinker, you're in solid shape for your age. He's like, it's really up to you whether you want to have the surgery or not, but I would highly recommend we wait. And so then it was like, whoa, because I was literally going up there. I'm like, let's go, wheel me in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get it done. Like the sooner we get it done, the sooner I heal. And it's one of the only surgeries of the heart left that they actually still have to open you up.
Crack the sternum.
They got to crack the sternum and go in because it's at the top half of your heart. They have to do all the repairs.
Oh, so you're like splayed open like
lamb
chops.
Yeah. It's like a 4 to 6 hour surgery, he said. And then it's like 3 days in the ICU, at least a week or maybe a little over a week in the hospital, depending on how well you heal.
Yeah.
And then it's like 8 months of doing, or not 8 months, 8 to 12 weeks of doing nothing. And then from there you can start, getting back into most people.
Right.
You know what's funny? I don't think I ever told you. Like, I don't think I told you either. So, like, I have a heart murmur too, and obviously never got checked on like other when I was a kid. But I had a brother who died before I was born, and same thing. He had like a heart murmur, but his was like big, so they had to do a surgery. So I didn't know about this until I was like in my like early 20s. Like, no one ever told me anything about him or anything like that. And I remember like hearing my mom tell me a story where they had the surgery on him, but because he was so young, he was a kid, they couldn't do like anesthesia, so he had to be awake through the whole fucking thing. And
That's
my dad
insane.
was there, like, just, I mean, obviously you got to listen to your son screaming in pain and stuff while they're doing like surgery and stuff, because even like they can't go overboard with the painkillers or anything like that. And this was like early 80s. So it's like that's why, like, when you called me up and you told me that, I was like, oh fuck, man. Like,
Well, what's weird is that's the kind of thing that's like that like you might not be here if your brother had lived.
right.
Your
Yeah.
parents might have said, "Oh, we had two. That's all we
Yeah,
really
yeah, no,
want."
100%. But the fact is that I still had the same issue, and I wasn't as bad. Like, I shouldn't be doing all the stuff that I'm doing. Like, they always told me that. Like, I wanted to play soccer when I was a kid and all that stuff. Like, for years, my parents wouldn't let me do shit. Like, they wouldn't let me do anything. And finally, I told them, I was like, look, I'm only here once anyway. Like, let me do it. If I get hurt, I get hurt, but it's on my time, And it kind of took them a while. They were super overprotective. And even for now, when, like, I tell them, like, when I was doing the kickboxing tournament last year, like, I could tell they were freaking out. They would, like, text me every 30 minutes, checking up on me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not a fucking joke. It's pretty serious.
Well, the stuff that I have, like the aneurysms, like the doctor, all the doctors I met with, they're like, dude, you have no idea how lucky you are to be alive. He's like, training what you were training in. He's like, this is where, you hear about all the time where people, that guy was the most physically fit guy in the world. He runs triathletes and he drops dead.
Yeah. Well, like,
When you drop dead when you have a heart attack, they don't do an autopsy unless you actually request it.
Yeah.
And most people go, he died of a heart attack. So even having a bicuspid aortic valve, like 2% of the world's population have it. More probably do. You just never know.
Yeah. Well, it's like when we were having that conversation too, the first thing that popped in my mind is like, shit, how many times do we like train, and we were training pretty fucking hard, like where we were like joking around, like, dude, why are you sweating, bro?
Yeah, why are you sweating?
Like, we would have the fucking joke, and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. If Tom would have had a fucking heart attack, like in the middle of rolling, like I would have fucking
or an aneurysm,
100%,
right on the, like a massive aneurysm.
Yeah. So here's what the surgeon told me, and we got to trust this guy because he does this forever. He's like, look, there's a lot of good things going on here, but he did say, if you want the surgery, we will do it because you're in that threshold. If you're worried about, Tara, she's like, what if he's like at the store one day and has a heart, and the doctor's like, highly unlikely if he does the things that I tell him to do, which is take, no more heavy lifting.
So,
no more.
so let's go ahead and cross that one off because he still does that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The skip training, high intensity, none of that. Lower it down, mid intensity. Try not to get the blood, your heart rate above 150 for an extended period of time.
And for somebody as angry as Tom,
I know,
Exactly.
right?
No, North Carolina changed.
No, North Carolina, dude.
Yeah.
North Carolina traffic. Whew,
Oh, it's tough.
it's a killer.
So what he said is, the surgeon said the pig and the heart valve last about 12 to 14 years. So his thinking is you don't want to have the surgery twice, right? Nobody wants to go through that surgery twice.
Right.
So and if you go mechanical, you have to go on some serious blood thinners. I think it's called Coumadin, and there's so many other complications. Or, say you have something else pops up, that medication, since it's blood thinners, won't work with other stuff that you can't take. So you could have other issues. So he said the longer that we can wait and monitor it, the better off you're going to be, because also, technology is advancing. And, even 4 or 5 years ago, they weren't able to replace the valve on the bottom half of the heart. They do it through your artery in your leg, and you're literally in and out of the hospital in like a week.
Yeah.
So
with the recovery, you're not recovering from a cracked fucking sternum.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So if you were to do the surgery, what exactly would they be doing to your heart?
You have to crack me open. Depending on how elastic the aneurysm is, they either repair it or replace it. So they'll like cut it out and put like pig or cow pieces.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking
And same thing with the
nutty.
valve. They make the valve.
Oh God, I can't wait for
Dude,
that.
how funny would that be?
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for you to have a piece of pig in your heart.
Yeah.
I would rather have like the
Exactly.
cow. I'd rather say
rather
like
do the
have the
cow.
cow. Yeah. Just because I could sit there and
It's,
just
it's
like
a bull.
Yeah, it's a bull.
It's a bull.
I would just sit there and like send like random like Chick-fil-A ads to you, like eat more chicken.
Yeah, if it was the pig though, it'd be like, oh, that's why you're so hungry.
Every
now. That's why
year
you're
on
eating
your
so much.
Yeah.
every year on your birthday, Shawn will call you up and read you Charlotte's Web. So they would crack your chest open, put in like
Parts.
pig buttholes
Parts.
for your valve,
Exactly.
and then what's the recovery time?
Well, I said, definitely 3 days in ICU, week and a half, 2 weeks in the hospital, depending on how quickly you recover.
Right.
And then it's like no physical activity for at least 2 or 3 months.
Well, you're good with that.
Yeah,
You don't do
I don't
shit.
do anything anyways.
So did when it comes to jiu-jitsu, did the doctor say avoid jiu-jitsu?
No, what he said is, definitely no high intensity rolling. Doesn't like the idea of any type of takedown. I even said, what about Muay Thai? Thinking I'd go back to doing more striking. He said, no, getting anything like chokes, like somebody locking you in a choke or somebody punching you in the face. Never really happened to me. It probably happens to you all the time when I train, but you can obviously tell.
Yeah, that you get punched in the face. No
Exactly.
way. No, he's too scared to
I'm
fight.
too pretty to fight.
Exactly.
He's too scared to
I'm
fight.
too pretty to fight.
Anything high impact, takedowns, because I was using, I had that 90-pound training dummy.
No more speed fucking.
No more of that. No more forcing out a poo.
Yeah.
Literally, and he said that actually, but
Gotta let that one just go.
yeah. Here's the important thing though. It's funny because when stuff like that happens, of course I tell my buddies,
Right.
but I'm a pretty private dude when stuff like that happens, and I found myself like I told one good friend of mine in North Carolina. He's like, damn. Like heart disease runs in my family too. Maybe I should go get a checkup. And I haven't had a physical in years. And so, I inspired him to go get a physical. And then he told a friend, and a couple other people in the neighborhood I knew called me. And before I know it, like the original doctor that I went to had like 8 or 9 new patients. And I was like, that's pretty cool, man.
You get like you get a kickback on that? Or
No. But
fucking like free heart surgery right there.
The
You got
kickback is maybe one of my friends doesn't die of a heart attack while
Right.
out on a run. So.
I figure people be calling them like, what's up with the insurance on the house?
Yeah.
You gotta like get back on that.
Well,
or what?
I was fine until you told me what the nickname of this heart disease was.
What is it?
Widowmaker.
Yeah.
It's a widowmaker.
Oh yeah, no, that shit like
And
go
I was
fuck
like,
you.
oh man.
But here's
Like
the
you
thing.
can't joke around after a while. Like
Yeah,
fuck, I
yeah.
guess.
Dude,
Well,
funny story, man. When I went to the original doctor for the physical, like again, like my biggest concern is not how healthy I am. I don't want some dude sticking his finger in my butt
Right.
or juggling my nuts. Sean, you're used to that,
Yeah.
so it doesn't bother you that
Willingly.
much. But listen, so like the whole thing gets done, and I don't know that we're done. But he's like, any other questions? I was like, sitting there. He's like, you all right, dude? I was like, nah, is this like, are we done?
Or you like?
Or like, are you like
setting the
gonna go out of
mood?
your room and come back in with a glove? Like, what are we doing here? You
He's
know?
like, gonna have my
And
hopes up
dude,
for the.
I said that to him. And he goes, no. He goes, we don't do that anymore. He's like, we use blood work. He's like, we look at your past history. We look at like, there's other things that we
What do you
still.
mean they don't do that anymore?
Well, at least maybe this doctor doesn't.
The
Maybe he's
my
so
doctor
advanced.
makes me do it every time I go see
Is it
him.
the
Does
same
he
guy?
really?
Is it the same guy that has that website?
Why-
for
is that
you or
why?
something?
Is that why you go every week?
It's just it's so weird. What amazes me is how he does it with his hands on my hips.
Yeah, right.
That's
Yeah,
so,
it's crazy.
Like, just be happy
And
you
then he-
didn't go old school, sticking the Q-tip down the hole. That's when they get you.
Yeah, but listen, at the end of the day, I'm super blessed that I went. The name of the game is to be around forever for my kids
Yeah.
and my wife, and maybe
So-
maybe Sean.
Yeah, maybe.
And
So
maybe.
the option is then no surgery until what?
Yeah, so I go back every 6 months. We're going to do a CT scan. This next one's going to be the big one because they don't have a baseline, right? The
Right.
doctor said, he goes, I don't know if this grew 5 centimeters over 45 years. It's the bicuspid aortic valve is a birth defect.
Right.
it's very hard to detect when babies are born. It's not one of those where you have a hole in your heart.
Well,
right?
everybody's got like a hole.
I fucking knew he was defective. The
Yeah.
moment I met him, I knew he was defective.
You're not one to judge,
Special.
I don't have any birth defects.
Special.
All right, there. All right, so what? You're not gonna do surgery. You're checking up every 6 months. So
Yep.
what? You think you're still gonna do it like 5 years from now, or what's the?
Well,
You know, what
go,
he did-
Go
I mean,
until
yeah.
you, go until you can, or
Yeah.
until you have to. That's
So do you
He-
think that this kind of like fuck with your head? Because I mean, we were training, no problem. You moved, and then like what? Within like a year of that, all of a sudden everything like changed. Like you feel like now it's like, if you hadn't known that you'd still be training the same way, like you'd be fine, or is it like, you know, like it would fuck with my head? Is one of those things like ignorance is bliss kind of
Yeah,
things.
no, it made me think a lot about different things that I did.
Yeah.
And Shawn and I talked about it last
Shouldn't
night.
have done all those those lines.
Exactly. Back in the youngin days.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
M&M's flying.
Exactly. Vitamins is what we call them.
Yeah.
Skittle.
Skittle.
Exactly. You know, that those type of stuff. You know, it's eye opening.
Yeah.
It is. You know, we joke, but you know, you guys know how I am with my family and
Yeah.
And,
So what'd your dad say? I'm curious.
when he came out of his room.
Yeah. When he fucking finally came out, he was like, what the fuck is going
No,
on
here's
here?
the thing though. They're like anybody blood related, they have to go get tested because it's something that is hereditary too.
Yeah.
And thank
But-
God, my nephews still have to go, but everybody that was tested, that was blood related, was fine, including my boys. The crazy thing about that is, like I said, 2% of the world's population actually get diagnosis. My sister-in-law got diagnosed with a bicuspid aortic valve.
Wow.
She doesn't have
Really?
any aneurysms. Yeah, I just found this out like 2 weeks ago. She went.
Oh, that's crazy.
No aneurysms. So the valve itself alone is just something you have to monitor, and calcium tends to build up quicker there.
Right.
What happened is the fact that I have the aneurysm on top of it, caused by the valve and the pressure of the blood flowing through it. That's the kicker. That's the one that if that thing bursts, 1 in 4 people survive even making it to the hospital.
Yeah.
Making it to the
But
hospital.
you said your mom had one too. Your
No,
mom,
no.
Your mom didn't
No,
have
we
it?
don't know. My dad doesn't have it, so it didn't.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, didn't come from my side. I was like,
that you know of. You just
That you
get
know
the
of,
genetic.
yeah.
That's the fucked up thing about genetics, man. Like it's, you know, like what is it? If you're colorblind, like you blame the mom, kind of thing.
Well, I don't. It's like that's all wives' tales.
No,
because
no, no,
everyone-
no.
Well,
No.
yeah, because people say baldness runs on the mom's side of
Right.
the family.
If your grandfather and
right.
your mom's
My grandfather
side,
had a full head of hair
and
until
yeah,
the
and
day
it
he died.
skips. No, it skips.
Well, so did my great grand. I knew my great grandfather and my grandfather on that side, and they were both had full heads of hair. So
Yeah, but you got other shit that you did that they didn't do. They're probably like.
yeah, you know.
I mean,
that could be.
like, my grandpa, like, even though like I never met him, like on my mom's side, same thing, full head of hair. But my dad's side, like, they're all gone. So I got lucky. I skipped that one.
Well,
Nah, I
It's
mean,
starting- it's starting-
still there.
it's starting.
Yeah, it's starting. But at 30, my dad was like
well,
you.
I was fine. I was fine until I was 35. 35 is when I noticed my bald spot. That's when I was like, because I had just shaved my head. Because I used to do like a two.
Were razors good in 1995?
What are you talking? He's older than me. 35. When I was 35, which was only
20 years ago.
I was on my knee, and I was
Taking it in for the team.
No, I was still pro wrestling. I was still
on your knee.
it was a picture of me in the ring, and I was down on one knee, and I had a chain in my hand, and I looked, and I noticed that it was less hair
Yeah.
on the monk's tonsure. I was like, no,
Yeah,
am I
yeah.
going bald? And then slowly but surely, that fucker started thinning more,
Yeah.
and then getting bigger, and I'm like,
Oh, for sure. I know, like, mine's now. Like I could tell because I have this side. It's this side where it's like it cuts, and I was like, that line didn't used to be that long over there. Like, but I honestly, I don't give a shit. Like,
well, that's what I didn't want to be that guy holding on to his hair. I was like, I'm not going to be that dude, like, doing the
Combing
comb
over.
over or going to get fucking Bosley.
spray tan.
You know?
Well, you know what's funny now is like
I went to the Caesar. I'm not gonna lie. First,
Did you?
Yeah, I went to the Caesar
Oh
cut.
man, you look like
No,
George
you know what
Costanza.
I did? You know what I did is
Yeah.
I grew up. Do you remember when Tom first
Like
met
the George Clooney. Remember
Yeah,
when George
yeah.
Clooney had
Yeah.
When Tom first met me, I had long hair.
Yeah.
That was my last hurrah because it wasn't like gone yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just thinning. So I just grew my hair out because I'm like, this is
I
gonna
actually
be my
have that
last
picture
time.
somewhere.
Yeah.
We have that picture of you and helping Jackson. I think Tara has it.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, I gotta find that one.
So the
That was a scary moment. That was when you were about 600 pounds. Now you're down to about 380.
380. So Tara was so because I was on the mat with Jackson.
Yeah.
He was like
And
3.
I was
Yeah.
teaching him how to shrimp, and Tara was
It was,
terrified.
it was terrifying. Like if he
course.
rolled over accidentally in the other direction, Jackson was a goner.
It's like watching a tadpole training with Yokozuna. Like, come on, man. I would be scared too. Like, you know how many babies die a year when like their parents roll over while they're sleeping?
yeah.
That's
I
what
just
it
read
looks
a
Oh, yeah.
story about
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it happens a lot. That's like no.
yeah.
I'm good.
It's hard though, man. When you have kids, I remember a few times I woke up and one of the boys was in the bed as a baby. Tara just fell asleep, man. I was like, "Get up! What are you doing? You're gonna suffocate him."
It's so fucking bad.
So did I tell you that? So I had a moment like that with one of my dogs. So
I thought you were gonna say one of your girlfriends.
no. And
Probably.
what happened was Tracy and I. I'd say it was probably 2004-ish, 2003-ish. Whenever Scooby-Doo the movie came out.
That's a weird fucking reference.
Well, you're
isn't
gonna
it?
find out in a second. So we smoked a doobie because one of my original or my wrestling instructors, the guy that taught me how to do pro wrestling,
Right.
he sold weed,
Right.
and he's gone now. God bless his heart. But he gave me a nugget, and he actually gave me a joint, and we smoked it, and we got high, and we started watching Scooby Doo, the movie with Matthew Lillard as
Yeah.
Shaggy. And we were laughing our ass off. It was the funniest movie we'd ever seen.
On weed.
On weed.
Yeah.
And what happened was I had my Roddy then.
Right.
And we were laughing. And,
Oh, you told me that.
and Tracy rocked forward, and my dog leaned or put his head down behind her, and then she rocked back. And his head was stuck like behind her for like a half a second. But in my stone brain, I'm like, "You're gonna suffocate him!" I started yelling, and then, dude, from that moment on, I was paranoid the whole night because she went into the kitchen to start making some snacks, and
Scooby snacks.
and it smelled weird. And in my head, I'm like, "She's killing the cats." She's so high, she's killing the cats and making some weird concoction that she's gonna make me eat my cats. And then we had to take the dog out to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, "I'm not going out there." She goes, "Why?" I go, "'Cause I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to find my way back in." That's how high I was.
dummy.
And you guys wonder why I don't drink and smoke? It's because when I do, drinking
You
not
get
so
dumber?
much, but marijuana and I just don't meet eye to eye. It's just like,
I mean, everybody
That's not a
reacts
thing.
differently, but I mean, I've never sat there and worried about someone killing a dog and cat when I'm like
but
stoned.
like to me, what freaks me out is how many jiu-jitsu guys smoke before they roll.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to save my fucking life.
No, I don't get
Yeah,
it.
we
but
trained
lot
with a
them
bunch
do.
of them.
Yeah. I just don't understand how they could do that. It's like,
I can't. I mean, but I could sit there. You could put me on anything, and I'll be fine. I'll be able to operate. But like, I can't sit there. Excuse me, and just like be high, like stoned like that, and like roll. Like I get like super paranoid and like sloppy. I couldn't sit there and function.
but like, does that? I'm wondering, could I ever train at 10th Planet in Hollywood?
Not everybody gets high
I
at
know,
10th
I know,
Planet,
I
but
know.
probably not.
That's an assumption.
Right?
Yeah, it's a
like-
pretty good assumption.
I mean, 50%.
Well, it's
I
more
bet
like
you,
that.
I bet you at least 50.
What's that tournament like? The one where like to get stoned?
High
now?
rollers?
Yeah, the high rollers. You seen that?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do that. There's no way in the world that I could fucking do that. Like high level competition and be high after like a huge joint. No, I'm good.
Well,
good.
it's like I can understand the concept because I was talking to some of the guys that came to Open Mat today. I was like, jiu-jitsu isn't about what you know in your head. It's what your body knows what to do.
Right.
Like you know things. Obviously, yes. If you know things, you can teach them. But it's not what you know. It's what you know. What your body knows what to do.
Dude, I was just talking to somebody at, it's funny you talked about right out of the gate about training with you, because I was talking to somebody at soccer, and, you know, one of the guys that I'm friends with, he was talking about this one guy who was there. The guy was about 6'4", and he was about 220. And he's like, man, that guy, you know, I've seen him at CrossFit, you know, I've seen him do this, I've seen him do that. And I'm just standing there just smiling. He's like, well, you know, what's up? And I was just like, yeah, I mean, cool.
Yeah.
CrossFit,
I can put it in
awesome.
the slip too.
Right? And
Yeah.
so what I said, he's like, oh, what, you know, your jiu-jitsu, you think is going to be able to take that guy? I said, here's what, I feel pretty good about my chances. And he's like, dude, what are you, like 5'8"? And I was like, yeah, right around 5'8". I said, but I trained with a guy for 3 years that was 6'4". And if that guy doesn't know jiu-jitsu or any type of grappling, I'm feeling pretty good about myself, regardless.
Still going to sleep. He's going to sleep.
Something's going to happen, and it's probably going to be to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, really, dude? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like,
it gives you it's jiu-jitsu is a superpower. I don't care what people say. It's a superpower.
And
because
even though I haven't trained in a while,
it's riding a bike.
No, yeah, you still end
like
up
you come up and we train, and you know some of the stuff, you know, comes right back to me.
The basics will always stay, but it's like the super advanced stuff. Like, yeah, you're like, oh shit, that's right, I forgot about this. But the basics are always going to be
some dude
there.
on the street, I'm feeling pretty good.
For sure, no, I would too. It's like I'm like, I don't care. That's the thing, man. Like I've never been afraid to be in a fight. I know to be smart about like I'm not gonna try and go and pick a fight with like Tyrone Spong, but like we're sitting there fighting, I'm like, you bleed just like I do, homie. Like I'm not too worried. I'm not trying to get into a fucking fight, but if shit comes down to it, like I'm confident. Like I'll take care of myself, no problem. I'll do what I need to do.
What's funny is the guys at my school, we're a different breed, obviously, than your normal jiu-jitsu school because of the way I have, you know, the way my mentality is.
Yeah, what is it? It's like I got that immigrant mentality.
Yo, dog, I got that immigrant mentality. Let me tell you something, Joe Rogan. No, it's just we're laid back, but the people that we attract at Temple are like people that are got a little bit of that fuck you to them.
Yeah.
Like they're super, everybody's super cool, but like they see a big guy walk into the gym and like they're like, oh yeah, I want the big one.
Yeah.
They want to test against the biggest and the strongest.
I'll tell you about the new guy that came in, the football player. What was his name?
Cameron.
Like, this dude is huge, man. Fucking
Which
insane.
one? Wait.
The Chargers.
Kelly? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like
Cameron.
He like came in, bro. He's like, I'm like, I don't want to roll with this guy. And then like Shawn's like, roll with him. I'm like, all right, we'll roll with him. The whole time he's like, all muscle. Like, I'm like, fuck, this dude is strong. And I'm just staying calm the whole time. He's trying everything to fucking squash me, like everything. And just I look at Shawn, I look at the clock. I'm like, okay, so there's like 5 seconds left. I'm like, okay. Boom! I send him fucking flying. He's like, "Fuck!" Like that's all I need. But
yeah, that's funny.
But I was trying. I couldn't fucking move him to save my life. But the whole time, it took me. It was like 4 minutes for the setup, making sure he couldn't do anything crazy. I'm like, wait, and then I just look at the clock. I'm okay, ready? Because I'm gonna go for that point. Like, fucking send him
and
flying.
the thing, what I tell everybody when it comes to no-gi jiu-jitsu is you could bring an athlete off the street and he's gonna do well. Like an actual like.
That dude's a legit athlete.
Well, dude, he's a professional. Well, he was a professional football player.
Yeah.
And even more scary than Cam is Kelly.
Which one's Kelly?
Kelly's the even bigger dude.
Oh, the wrestler dude?
Well, no, he played football too. He
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy is a fuck. He looks like a young Matt Mitrione.
No way.
Yeah, he's tall and but he's athletic. Like he wrestled in high school, so I
would have to pull the higher belt. Thing on him, like, yeah, you don't get to pick me. I pick who I want.
I don't blame you, dude. Like, he's
already tapping guys.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Like, but it's like, and they've only been with me about a month.
Yeah.
So it tells me two things. One, if you come in with any ability to be coached, like if you know, and football players, they know how to be coached. They know how to listen to what you say. You can be taught jiu-jitsu. The second thing that it's kind of a selfish thing, but at the same time, it makes me feel good, is it lets me know that my system works. These guys are already tapping people, and they've only been with me for a month.
Who are they tapping?
They're
they're doing good, man. No, it's legit. Like when I come in there, like I definitely have to mind my P's and Q's. Like I'll fuck around like the first part of like the
until
training.
you find out. Wait a second, you fuck around until you realize.
Well, you know how I always roll.
Around.
No, you know how I always roll. It's like I always be the mellow one, like at the beginning, just to see where they're at, and then like I pay attention. Like, are you gonna go for the submission because you're going for it, or are you gonna go for it and be a dick? So like if you get it, but you're gonna be a dick about it. Okay, then we roll. But otherwise, if you get it, then like, all right, we're just gonna have fun rolling.
And none of my guys are dicks. But that's the beauty.
That's not true. Colin was always a dick.
No, Colin was never a dick.
Colin's the guy's like, oh, I'm just gonna do my elbows. Oh, I'm sorry, you're
Colin,
a girl.
I know you're listening.
Yeah, he's gonna sit there. It's like, oh, it's a girl. I'm gonna go ahead and dig my elbows into her.
Yeah,
like, or you
that's
could
a
do.
dick move.
Yeah, I'm like, or you could do what coach told you to do on how to fucking break the guard, and it just.
Colin was, but you know what? What Colin had was
tenacity,
and he wanted to win.
Do I not know this fucking guy or what?
No, he was
Yeah,
ready to go, but he wasn't a dick.
he was an athlete.
Was he
a
humble
football
in
player.
defeat?
Yeah,
he wasn't a dick
dude,
about
Colin
it.
Was one of. Colin,
He's a legit dude. I'm busting his balls. He's
I
like
talked
he's a
to that
legit
kid,
dude.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talked to him. Colin, I hate admitting this, because if he's listening, because I hate giving him any compliments. But Colin became one of my favorite people.
You hate giving anybody compliments.
I hate taking compliments as
And
even more.
giving them.
And giving them.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's not about. He doesn't hate.
He looks like he's
taking
gonna cry when
I
you
do
guys
too.
hand
No,
out a
it's not,
compliment.
he doesn't hate about taking compliments.
I
This
hate
guy,
giving. I hate.
Get the fuck
Yes,
out of
I
here.
do.
Stop.
I'm
stop.
even
Don't
more
make me call you out.
uncomfortable.
No,
Go ahead,
you're
say
Okay,
what you need to
let
say.
me go ahead and like post all my yoga photos so I can get 700 likes just to sit there and be like, oh, check it out, everybody loves me. Like, if you didn't post it,
What are you talking
am I wrong?
about?
Am I wrong?
That's not what you do.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I mean,
Am I wrong?
You're
he knows
wrong.
how I
You're
feel.
so
He
full
knows
of
how I
shit.
feel about his Instagram account.
Oh, come on.
You're wrong. I don't do that to get
You
compliments.
you don't do it for recognition.
No. What I use it for, it's exactly what it's done, and that's to help people want to live a healthier lifestyle.
You hear this motherfucker? Oh,
Can you
come
give me an
on.
example?
Yes, I can. Do you guys want the example?
Give me an example.
One of our buddy Mike's friends,
Mike
Morantz,
Peter. Okay.
as I put out his last name.
Whatever. He doesn't give a shit.
Nice.
I
love Mike.
A couple weeks ago, Mike sent me a text with his buddy Keith, and he's like, Keith wants to start training, blah blah blah. So Keith came to Temple, and we met, and he told me what he's going through. He's going through a lot of stuff in life, and he goes, look, I see what you put out on social media. He goes, and I really like your vibe and what you're putting out, and I can tell that you seem happy and you have a healthy lifestyle, and I want what you have. I need to get to that place for myself and for my family. So what Keith is doing is now Keith is training at Temple.
Right.
He's also meeting me at yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 a.m.
Right.
He's trying to live a healthier lifestyle, and we have like these little powwows.
That's different though.
But that's what my Instagram is for.
6 months from now, he's gonna go, Shawn, stop putting the fucking selfies on Instagram. It's only gonna take him about 6 months.
Well, you know who's worse than Shawn? Is Nils. Nils is so bad on that.
We've all and Nils knows how we feel about his Instagram.
Well, happy birthday to Nils too. He's 40 out in Ireland right now.
Nils is a good dude, but man, I had to give that 30-day break that they allow you to give from seeing posts. I'm not gonna lie, Nils.
You put him on timeout.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I put you on timeout. I was like, this motherfucker, man.
There's only so many times I can see
It was the
poses.
poses. But
So
Nils is a good dude. Though.
Nils is a
good
great
people.
fucking guy.
Nils, like, there's only so many times I can see a grown ass man go.
Yeah.
So
Can somebody straighten his hat out once in the picture?
No, bro. He's Jersey for life.
I'm joking, Nils. Nils is good.
But
Speaking of which, total side note, shout out to Charles from the Armory. He just got his purple belt. He's one of Professor Marcello's students. I think you met him once before. He came out to roll with us. Pretty sure, like once before. He's a good dude. He just got his purple belt, so shout out to him.
Congratulations. You know, a lot of my guys, and I think this is something that should be addressed in jiu-jitsu as a whole, is most of the guys that come to my night class don't do gi. And they're schedules don't allow it, and maybe their finances don't allow them to get a gi or whatever. But I don't think
Or
that's
25.
or 25 like we ended up doing. But
I think I'm at 30, but I stopped.
yeah, I don't think I'll buy a gi for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I stopped.
There's a shame that there's not a ranking system for no gi, and even though kind of Eddie Bravo does rank
Right.
a lot of his guys, I think there should be a standardized ranking system.
I
for
kind of
no
like
gi.
it that there isn't, though. I kind of like it that there isn't because it's like ADCC is going on today. So it's really more about time. Because you could be like Gordon Ryan, like 2 years deep, and you're sitting there going after black belts, or you could be 10 years deep and you're still like struggling with blue belts.
Right, but you should. Regardless, though, I think there should still be a ranking system because it's
Well, for wrestling, because for like college wrestling, is there like belt rankings or is there weight? See what I'm saying?
But it's totally different, though.
Well, there's not belt rankings, but there are rankings.
Right, but that's like divisions and stuff. Like you could be like,
But I
like
think it's
1A or something like that.
but
But
here's
I
the
mean,
thing.
if I'm 2 years into college and you're into 3 or
Right,
1 year,
the rankings don't mean the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you're in, it's a martial art. No gi is just as much a martial art as gi, as much as even though Muay Thai really doesn't have a ranking system.
Muay Thai
boxing-
doesn't.
boxing-
Only in the U.S.
Yeah,
like the
boxing
East,
does
like
not
Western.
have any actual belt ranking system or whatever.
You can either throw or you can't.
You're either an amateur or a pro when it comes to boxing. But because no-gi is so tied to gi jiu-jitsu, I think we should come up with a
ranking.
universal ranking system, so you can start doing having these no-gi tournaments with actual ranks instead of IBJJF is the only one that I know that uses actual rank. You have to be ranked in the gi in order to enter into a no-gi or into the world no-gi from IBJJF. They don't just say time at IBJJF.
I think that's just their attempt at keeping on to the antiquated look that they do as far as like, the martial art and like whatever, which is not bad, but I think the fact that you have no belt ranking system into like going into ADCC kind of leaves it open for that underdog like storyline and like
but most of the people, you're not going to get anybody not ranked.
well look at like our Nicky Ryan, all right,
He's ranked.
but he's what 17, 16?
16. He
So
can't be a black belt for 2
but
years.
he can go sit there and compete at an adult black belt and fucking be a
Not at IBJJF.
right, but he would be a solid competition.
Well, of course.
So then, like that's what I'm saying.
But I think there should still. I don't think it would be hard. I don't think it would be hard to come up with a no-gi ranking system.
they would just keep it the same.
It would be very
How does
similar
Eddie
to
Bravo
the gi.
do? Just time and skill, or just
I think
Same style.
Same, like
It's
he
the same
gives you a
style.
belt when he thinks you deserve that
They
belt.
they test
does
it
he
though.
give you an actual belt? Or
He
does-
gives you an actual
Because
belt.
I know they have the.
Yeah, he gives you an actual belt.
Yeah.
Which is so what's funnier to me with Eddie Bravo is Eddie Bravo 9 times out of 10 if you watch his classes, he's wearing gi pants.
Yeah. Well, no, he always says that.
He wears gi pants, but doesn't normally put on the
No, he
the
says
jacket.
it. He likes it for like the grip because you get the grips and stuff when like you're wearing pants. Like, he talks about it all the time. So it's understandable. I mean, I think it's good not to have it so you don't get stuck dealing with the same issues that you get stuck with like the gi where people are like, oh, why don't you come over to my school and then I'll promote you and blah blah blah, like that kind of bullshit. And I think it leaves it open for that.
Yeah, but how many just no gi schools do you know of? That's the thing. Most jiu-jitsu schools that you know
look
of are
at
gi
like the
jiu-jitsu.
MMA guys. Like look at the MMA guys. Like someone like Steve. Like Steve could be like a brown belt, black belt.
He is a brown belt. He
Right,
does
but
the gi though.
No, big Steve, tall Steve.
Oh, for
Not
Ma-
Maori.
no.
Not Maori. I'm talking about tall Steve. I'm talking about Maori.
Yeah,
Steve
you're
Maori.
talking
Yeah.
about Steve Maury. Not, yeah.
And look at what's his name? Desmond Green. Desmond is a purple belt under Faraz Sahabi.
Right. So
But
if
he never like trains in the gi. Like
might
I've
never
seen him.
train in the gi
He
now,
trains
but-
like once in a while, like in the gi.
but he probably did train in the gi.
yeah, but that's
in
what I'm
order
saying.
to get
like-
ranked, in order to.
But if you sat there and just saw him in no gi, like you would never say like, oh, he's a purple belt. He's like
no, but there should be a system for it.
Yeah.
Because for the school. I tell the story about when I first walked into American Top Team and Charles McCarthy. I told him I don't want to be ranked. I said, never rank me. I just want to come in here and learn. I don't want to be ranked. And he sat me down and he's like, look, he goes, I understand it. I understand what you're saying, and I get what you're saying, and it's commendable that you don't want to be ranked. You just want to learn. But the ranking isn't just for you. The ranking is for everybody else on the mat to know who they could come to ask questions. If there's a white belt that walks in and he sees in no-gi, if he knows that you're a blue belt or a purple belt, he's going to come to you and ask, and he's going to ask you that question before you ask the black belt, because you're going to be doing the drilling with these guys. So you can say, look, man, I'm having a problem with this or this. You would ask that guy because he's been there, and he know if he's a purple belt, he'll have some answers. So the ranking isn't just for you; it's for everybody else underneath you. So when Charles explained that to me, that the ranking isn't just for me; it's about other people, it made more sense.
I get it, but I still think that, and we both have seen these kind of people. We've seen these kind of people where you're the higher belt, but you're also absolute garbage, and you go out of your way to teach people the wrong shit. Because there's some people that I watch on a constant basis. I'm like, you're fucking garbage, and you shouldn't be telling people everything because you're teaching these kids wrong. They didn't even come to you to ask you for information, and I'm watching them give wrong information. I've watched them stop the professors.
They do that at any rank.
Right, but they stop the professor in the middle of class, teaching, dude, shut the fuck up. No, that's the one thing. It's I get where you're coming from, but there's also people that completely abuse the fact that they're a higher belt.
Yeah, but I think those are fewer. I just think it would be a good thing to do, to give.
Well, you have your own school. You're more than welcome to do it.
Here's the thing: I've been seriously thinking about.
Is there a temp planet Is it Miami have a temp planet?
Yeah. I think there's one in Orlando now too. And there's one in Tampa. I'm pretty sure, Tampa or St. Petersburg, one of the two. And I'm pretty sure there's one in Orlando now.
Yeah, and I've been seriously thinking of creating my own, but people would be here's what the drawback to that is. Say I rank one of my guys, and I make him. He stays with me long enough, becomes a purple belt in the no-gi. If he moves to another place, and they only do gi, or they do gi and no-gi, and he walks in and he says, well, I'm a purple belt. And they go, well, put on a gi, and he puts on a gi. He's not going to know enough. He's not going to know.
Well,
enough.
That's up to you to sit there and decide. You have the gi system and the no gi system.
Right.
So that's completely up to you. It's not a big deal to be separate.
What I'm saying is I could come up with one, and I probably will, but just for my guys, so they know where they rank. But at the same time, outside of my school, it won't matter. Do you know what I'm saying? Outside of my school, that no-gi ranking won't matter at any other school, because they're
well, I mean, it all depends on the skill level, because at the school that I went to, I was a white belt for 2 years. And then I come here and it's or another school, and I might be at a blue belt level in that school. So it always changes regardless of what school you're at.
No, I agree, but
do you have a lot of people that just do no gi, that don't do gi at all?
Most people do no gi. Yeah.
Most people in my no gi my night program don't do the gi. I'd say there's.
But in all fairness to them, you also have more no gi classes than you do gi classes.
No, I have more gi classes.
Yeah, but you do them during the day when no one can come in.
Well, that's changing. That's going to be at 7 a.m.
That's not my fault. You don't mention it.
Well, I just did. It wasn't during the day. It was 9 a.m.
Now you know.
Now you know.
It was at 9 a.m. and it was working for a lot of people, because my gi class was growing too. I have 8 to 10 guys in the gi class.
That's 7 a.m. I wish there was the guy around me did 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So who do you,
a good time.
That's a nice time.
Who do you have at the by you now though? What are the schools?
Me?
Yeah.
So the closest one, I think it's a Gracie school now. There's 2 or 3 right in Apex.
Right.
Lucas Lepre has a school in Raleigh, I think it is, or Wake Forest.
Is that the yellow and black with the B?
There's one, and then there's Gracie's downtown Raleigh, for sure. There's not a lot. There's definitely not a lot like down here.
Well, there wasn't like any like when you first got there, right?
Nah, the one guy moved his school, so he closed down for a little while.
There's a place right in Apex that you went and checked out.
Yeah.
But they were, I'm going to go ahead and say it, they were douches.
Why? What happened?
He walked in and they like looked him up and down and like.
Shut up.
Yeah, like nobody even came over to me. I was standing there for 20 minutes.
What a bunch of fucking scumbags. What was it called?
No,
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to call him out. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's what I don't get. Like, some people, and I've heard stories of some other schools here too, where like someone came in, they wanted to like train, and the person at the front desk started like grilling them and all this other shit. It's like, I'm trying to give you money. Why would you be a dick?
Yeah, and that's not in the spirit of jiu-jitsu, right?
No, you always want to be inviting the people.
Yeah.
You granted you don't want like a gym
Who the
storm
hell-
or
that
stuff.
happened to Colin in Colorado.
Well, when you change
What?
gyms, it's a whole different.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Yeah.
brotherhood. Like when we got lucky because we found Temple, and we were, it was Brooks's thing, but we were really his first students,
Right.
from a jiu-jitsu standpoint. So it felt like home still.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, it was a welcoming vibe. Like, you come in like,
Yeah.
hey, man, there's no ego. Like, you're you on me, and like, and whatever. We're here to train and get better.
Yeah.
Other places, like, no, you're here. You're going to follow my fucking rules. You do what I say. It's
My
like,
system. If I don't teach it, it doesn't. Yeah, Colin went up to Colorado before he moved moved out there. He went to Colorado and I told him to bring stuff to train with. He was gonna be there for a week. I said bring stuff to train with, and he was gonna do at this one 10th Planet that was near him, and he called the guy and it didn't talk to the black belt. He talked to the manager, and the guy's like, well, like he wanted to come to an open mat.
right.
And the guy's like, well, you can't really do that. You got to take a class with the black belt first. And I'm like, what?
Oh, there's a lot of people that do that.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that.
No,
Where they want to see where you're at before you come in, because you are risking having like your students hurt by some asshole. That's what happened to us. Remember, there was like a dude. This was at Jocko, and I was taking your morning class at the time, and there was some dude from like Europe, and he was like a 10th Planet guy. He just came in. And like,
was it the guy that ended up pooping his pants?
No, not the Russian dude. This was like, there was only 3 of us. It was me, you, him, and one other person. And like, we start rolling, and out of nowhere, he gets me in an electric chair, and he starts cranking on my knee. I'm like, bro, it's 6:30 in the morning, man. Like chill out. Like, we could roll hard, but like, don't try and break my knee. So I was like, oh, okay. You want to fucking roll hard? Let's roll hard. So then like, I started like smashing him, and I hear him, oh, you're strong. I'm like, bro, you just tried to fucking break my knee. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go hard. But like, if I was a white belt and I'm rolling with this guy and he starts fucking up my knee, that's bad on you and him. But you didn't know.
Yeah, but this wasn't like this. It was on another level. It was on another, because when
I get it.
When Colin talked to the black belt, the black belt was like, no, that's not how
That's
we do
different,
it.
and that's happened to us at Jocko too,
Yeah,
where it was
it was like the manager trying to do some kind of power move.
yeah, over
and
there. And it's happened to us at Jocko. It happened a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever. Every
It's
gym
just-
is different.
Right. And I don't, but what you do is you say, yeah, come on in, and then you introduce him to the black belt, and the black belt takes him first roll.
Yeah.
You know,
Did I tell you about the?
take care of that?
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the kid that almost made shit his pants like a couple of weeks ago? Dude, this like, so one of the girls that trains at Excel with us, like, she's like 14, 15, and like once in a while she'll bring like her boyfriend to class, whatever. He's just sitting there. So obviously I'm friends with her dad too. Like, we're all close friends. I'm like, I see this kid, I'm like, oh, I gotta fuck with this kid. He comes in with a bandana on and then like a Bruce Lee shirt or something like that. So I'm like, it was super corny. Like, you know, when you're like 14, 15, you wear like dumb shit. You just kind of go with it. So I was like, she like introduces me to him. I was like, bro, let me ask you, like, super straight face. I'm like, let me ask you a serious question. Like, and I go to shake his hand. I was like, are you gym storming right now? He's like, what? I was like, you come into my fucking school wearing a bandana, wearing a Bruce Lee shirt, and you're sitting here just staring at us. You didn't even want to introduce yourself. You want to fucking storm my gym? And then the other guys heard me, like, they know that I was, like, fucking with those, so they circle up, and they all get around him. And the whole time, I'm shaking his hand. I'm not letting go, like, looking at him dead in the eye. He's like, no. I was like, look at me when I'm fucking talking to you. I was like, are you gym storming? And he's like, this kid was about to shit his pants. I was like, I want you to tell me right now. I'm like, because we can be cool about this, or, like, we can make this happen. This kid he was turning white, and then like after like another 30 seconds of just holding his hand and shaking, I was like, no, I'm just fucking with you, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, this kid was about to die. It's like, come on, man. But like, and I was honest with him. I was like, bro, come on, you can't come into a jiu-jitsu school wearing a bandana and a Bruce Lee shirt. Like, you got to know what you're like walking into here. And it was just fucking best. Like, you got to love fucking with people once in a while.
But somebody walks in, you got to make them feel welcome right off the
make
bat.
them feel
welcome.
Especially. Definitely somebody who's new into it, but if you got somebody that walks in and tells you that they're experienced, or you don't even give them the opportunity. I mean, I had my Temple hat on, so I knew something was up. Nobody even came up to me. I remember when we would get new people at Jocko, you know, they would put them with, you know, us because they would know that they were going to be taken care of, and we were going to make sure they had a good first impression, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Just me and this guy.
Right? Well, we're definitely the best first impression for sure.
Yeah.
So I had somebody contact me about the kids program, and their kid does jiu-jitsu now.
Right.
And he asked me about our kids program because he's thinking about taking his kid out of the other program if he maybe not, things might be changing. And I was like, look, I'm going to tell you the truth. I go, I don't think
we roll hard here.
No, I told him the truth. I said, I don't think your son will like our system, because our system isn't. His son does jiu-jitsu. I think he's 8 or 9, but he does jiu-jitsu. He doesn't do, you know, our program is a little bit of jiu-jitsu, a little bit of striking, a little bit of, you know, obstacle courses. It's like fitness. It's like an all-around kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And this kid just does jiu-jitsu in the gi. And I said, look, I go, as much as I'd love to have him here with us, I don't think it'd be a good fit for him. And I think he wouldn't like it. But he's more than welcome to try. But I'm going to be honest with you. I go, I just don't think he would enjoy it. Yeah. And he said, I go, and you know, we were joking around. I go, obviously we're not about the money here at Temple. And he goes, you know what though? He goes, you are about customer service. He goes, because I appreciate the honesty. And I've done that to a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Shades?
No. He trains at Combat Club now. Dylan.
Oh, all right.
Dylan. He trains at Combat Club, and he was training with me down when I was still teaching at Jocko. And I go, he's like, oh, and he was training someplace out west, and it was just too far for him. And like, he was like, man, he goes, I want to come train here. I go, I'm going to tell you the truth. I go, I love you, and I want you here. I go, but I would feel like I'd be doing you a disservice from me not telling you that you're going to have a school that's opening literally 2 minutes from your house.
Yeah.
And he appreciated that. And he even, like, he made a post a couple months ago, and he goes, I wouldn't be here at Combat Club if it wasn't for Shawn Ambrosino, you know, and his honesty. And I think that's important, because the bottom line is jiu-jitsu shouldn't be about me trying to take money from you.
Yeah.
It's about, I want you to learn jiu-jitsu because it's awesome. It changes your life. Yeah. And whether it's with me or somebody else, I don't care, but I want you to stick with it. And if it's going to make it easier to stick with,
for that person, yeah.
If it's easier to stick with because it's right down the road from your house than driving from Lantana all the way to Del Rey, almost technically Boca.
But you're also like preemptively like preparing the person. It's like, listen, you're gonna be here for, like, let's say you're either here for 1 month because you're testing it out and then you're not gonna like it and leave, or you're gonna be here for like 6 months because you fall in love with it, but then you realize, like, fuck, this is really far, and I might not get as strong of a training as I would if I go to the gym down the street.
It was still closer than where he was going before.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, This place
It's
is
all about
opening
decisions,
right down
man.
down the street.
That's one of the things that like I wish like someone would have told me when I first started, because I dealt with a lot of bullshit drama when I first started like jiu-jitsu. And like at the end, I switched schools 3 times, like 2 times really, like because it was just bullshit drama. Like I'm here in one place and like all this kind of drama, and then the second place it's like, okay, this was great, but then it's like, well, I need something else. Like I need a different kind of vibe for me. So it's like you got to learn along the way too, but it's one of those things that no one ever tells you. No one ever tells you like, hey, make sure you do your due diligence and read about the teacher, read about the coach, and ask other coaches that are like big in the area. It's one of those things that you learn like School of Hard Knocks on, because there's a lot of teachers out there that you ask anybody else, they're like, oh no, and then there's teachers that you ask like anybody else about, and they're like, oh, he's a great guy, yeah, go check him out, he's a good friend of mine. There's always that case. So it's like, yeah, it's tough to find the people that are really, really honest, and it's usually the ones that are honest like that end up having like the most amount of students, or at least the more loyal like student base.
Well, what's funny is that when I meet people and they tell them about jiu-jitsu, they're like, oh man, I'd love to come train with you. I go, yeah, dude, anytime you want, come train with me. Yeah. And where do you live? Well, I live in Palm Beach Gardens. Well, we have friends that train there. I have an awesome school. Yeah. It's right off of North Lake, and
who do you know off of North Lake?
Who do we know off of North Lake that did our podcast?
Who's off of North Lake? I can't think.
Who did our podcast?
Off of North Lake?
Yeah.
I can't think of.
I even know who you're talking about. I just don't know their name.
I'm trying to see this.
Dude, I'm so burnt out from this week.
Who's done our podcast?
Bunch of people.
Who have been guests on our podcast?
Oh, Igor and Natasha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Igor and Natasha. They're off of North Lake.
Oh, I thought they were off of a different road. No, they're off of North Lake.
They're off of North Lake.
Yeah, bro, come on, man. It's fucking Saturday. All right, and I just fucking chowed down a chicken sandwich. I'm like halfway away.
Or if somebody lives in Jupiter, well, the Armory's right there.
The Armory's up there. We got Hanato up in Vero.
So I know people like I can
tell.
Oh, you live out west? Yeah. You live out west? Oh, Shark's got a place right there in Wellington. Oh,
Pahompa is out off of.
And if you're in West Palm,
Okeechobee.
Pahompa. Or my friends Eric and Tubby, they got a place.
Ben's got the ATT up there, PGA.
Yeah, there's a bunch of places that we can send people
Tubby
to.
and Eric now are in Palm Beach Boxing. Do you know they started up a pizza place?
Yeah, well, their parents did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, still. They're
so
good
you
people.
got jiu-jitsu, boxing, and pizza?
Well,
that sounds awesome.
I would fucking love that. When they posted that.
If the pizza was in
they had acai bowls.
Awesome.
Dude, like when I saw them post that, I'm like, oh, that's like my fucking dream. I still would love to have a fucking pizza place.
And they're hardcore vegans. Tubby and Eric are hardcore vegans, so like, that pizza's gonna have like raw ingredients, but it's gonna be have ingredients that are healthy.
Well, it's NYPD, so I think it's part of like the franchise. I don't know. I gotta double check. I gotta hit them up. I gotta swing by. Speaking of which, are you getting like good acais up in?
Yeah, man.
North
I was just
Carolina?
telling them there's actually a food truck
that has acai.
That has.
There's 3 of them.
That has lines out the door.
They have lines out the door.
Stupid.
That food truck's got lines
it's got
out
lines
the door.
out the door around the block.
Who made that line?
I did.
It's fucking yummy.
Why are you laughing?
You fucking love this
Why
truck.
are you laughing?
Lines out
the door.
Wait, so is it a good acai
yeah,
place?
Man. It's called the Purple Bus. There's 3 of them.
Man, if I saw something called a Purple Bus, I wouldn't think it like directly acai bowl.
That's not the name of it, but that's
that's what you call it.
You tell girls they're going to take the
Purple Bus.
I'm going to take you to lunch to the Purple Bus.
You're going to take the
There's
Purple
lines
Bus
out
to
the door.
Taco Town, girl.
There's lines out the door.
I would have thought like maybe they just got lean or something.
You see, there's a couple breakfast places that have it. They serve it for breakfast.
It's getting more and more popular.
Here's the thing: when it comes to acai, it's got to be done right because that icy shit pisses me off.
Now this dude actually, if he follows in, he's actually gone to Brazil, to the farms that farm the.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he tell you this himself?
No, it's on Instagram. It's all over. it could be in somebody's backyard in Boone.
It could be.
The same thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you might have been hustled, man.
It's North Carolina. Moonshine and
You're the
acai.
last person that I would think that would trust when people tell you.
The difference between acai here in Brazil is like whenever I go to an acai place and I take somebody there for the first time, I go, this isn't how acai is supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
I go, the way acai for real is like a pudding. It's like if you have it in Brazil, it's more like a pudding than
Now I
anything
want some
else.
acai.
I think actually we can get it. I think there's a place down here that has acai. Like
Well,
right
you
down the
know
street.
where I like the acai that I just tried?
Where?
Nomad Surf Shop, their truck outside.
Bro, don't fucking product place in the
No,
middle.
I swear to God.
This is fucking
Nice.
guy.
I swear to God, we were just Tom will tell you, we were talking about it. He's like, what about Nomad? I go, dude, I just tried their acai for the first time, and it is super solid. It was really good. It was really big. A lot of like put macadamia nuts and stuff in it. It was like, ooh, and like it was the first time I tried it. I was like, wow, they've really done something good here.
You know what's funny is they're opening up an Arrow Juice right down the street from my office. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm fucking going
You're
there
done.
every day.
Arrow juice is as close to what you can get in Brazil as anything around here.
But you know what's funny is now I'm having them every day for breakfast. Like I buy, because now they sell them at Publix. They sell the
packets
Sambazon.
like I used to have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you get Sambazon? You used to get something else. You used to get the other one.
I didn't buy that shit. Tara did.
Yeah.
I just had her make it.
No, so
I ate it.
every day. Like now, every day for breakfast, since I ate quick coffee, every day I'll have that. Just bananas.
Quick coffee.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I
Cold
didn't tell
brew,
you
everything.
everything.
I did it for about 10 months, and I just introduced Stokes back in. Just 1 cup a day.
How did you get the headache?
For about 3 or 4 days, I had it, and
When
it was a very
When you
mild.
went back on,
Yeah.
or when you
No.
went off?
When I went off, it was mild and it wouldn't go away.
Yeah,
I
right.
did-
But you
I
know
had
what I
mine for
did?
a week.
I had green tea. As
Oh,
soon as I had green tea, like on the 4th day, I
Yeah.
had green tea.
I went
And I was
coffeeless for 21 days while I was on that fast. I didn't have no headache, no withdrawals.
Yeah, but you drink
nothing.
shit garbage coffee. You drink 7-Eleven coffee. All right.
It's garbage.
Says who?
I remember sorry at
says
7-Eleven
people that
when I helped
actually
Shawn
drink
out with a
coffee.
battery.
Yeah.
What?
The first time Tom and I kind of hung out
Was that 7-Eleven?
was at 7-Eleven.
when his battery
You
died?
fucking chain Silent Bob?
No, he called me because I live right around the corner, and he's like, "Hey, do you have a charger?" I was like, "I think I do. Where you at?"
He's like down the street.
He's like 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
And then what happened? I called AAA. Because I had AAA.
Yeah,
And
but
they
no. Because we got it started with the charger, and then we went to. You followed me over to
The AutoZone.
AutoZone or whatever,
That's funny.
and we were just.
No, we
Then
didn't.
we
I
became
called
buddies.
AAA because my little cheap thing
Wouldn't
wouldn't
start, and I didn't
then
have
that dude
AAA.
brought that big power back, and I was looking it up on Amazon. I was like, son of a bitch. I gotta
like-
have one of those.
How much was it?
It's like $150.
Oh, those things are worth it. I have one. Like
Yeah.
I have one that has like it has a USB charger and stuff too.
Yeah, I had the
Saved my
crappy one,
ass.
Boost
Yeah.
one, like Craftsman.
Yeah,
something.
when I had, that's back when I had the Dodge.
Yeah.
So the Dodge, like, you could probably get a couple D batteries and rub them together to start my fit.
Speaking of which, I was gonna ask you. Your buddy has the Honda dealership, right? Not the Ford
Yeah,
dealership.
yeah.
I gotta talk to him. I'm so fucking done with Ford. Did I tell you what they did to me? Did I tell you?
No,
Fuck,
did
bro.
they check your
Fucking
prostate?
Greco Ford and Delray Beach are a bunch of fucking scumbags. I'll let you know right now. I just remember I had bought a new battery for my car. Installed it myself. I can change my own fucking oil if I want to. So I go the other day, whatever, go get my oil changed. This fucking asshole calls me up. He's like, "Hey man, give me a call back. I need you to approve something." I was like, "Whatever. I'll just get my car and I'll talk to you when I get there." So I get there. He's like, "Yeah, your car's not ready. You're gonna need a new battery." So I'm like, "All right, let's hear what this asshole has to say." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Yeah, man, your battery's it's about done. You need a brand new battery." I was like, "Really? Like, why is that?" He's like, "Yeah, there's acid all up on the prongs and stuff." It's like, is it in the negative or the positive? "Oh, I gotta double check." I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, I'm not buying a new fucking battery for you." "Oh, well, I'm not trying to sell you a new battery. I'm not trying to, look, bro, I've only been here for like a week." So I'm like, "What are you talking about?" You could tell it was like a rehabber that he's like, he just got this job. He was like super defensive and stuff. I was like, "Bro, I'm not yelling at you. I'm like, I'm just not letting you trying to fucking like scum me over." It's like, I just installed that battery. Like the acid buildup happens on the negative prong and it happens to all cars. Hot water, throw some grease on it, you're good to go. And he would not fucking stop trying to sell me. They would not give me my car until I blatantly told him, like, "Give me my fucking car." All I asked was for an oil change. And I still get emails and phone calls like, "Oh, do you want a new battery?" Like, are you serious, man? Like, and they fucking scum people like that
What
all
they
the
really
time.
wanted to do was give you an oil change.
No,
like the oil change I was fearful of before I went to my doctor. How about that segue?
There you go. We had that talk that he liked the fingers in the butt. Doctor.
Honda, the service at Honda.
Honda was great.
Is awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to go back.
That's a good
Frank
shot.
that runs the parts department is an awesome dude, man.
I want to just go back to my Toyota. I miss my 4Runner.
Go talk to Casey down there.
He's got the Toyota too now.
Oh, Honda.
He's got Honda, but dude, just Honda, Toyota doesn't matter. They're
No.
Just
it
make sure
doesn't
you
matter.
tell him that you're my friend and not this guy.
Should I tell him that he's a
You'll
great
get
boxer too?
You'll get an oil change.
Yeah. Ask him if he's a pro boxer, like all-state wrestler. Oh man, yeah. No, dude, I was so pissed when they did that shit to me. Like, it took all my willpower not to fucking just curse the guy out. Fucking piece of shit. Like, I can't stand when people do that. They're just out to rob you. So what do you got going on for the rest of the weekend?
Nothing, man. Garlic Fest is this weekend, so Tara and the boys are there. She's putting them to work. I'm chilling.
What do you got?
It's a rough
going
life.
on?
What do I got?
Are we
I got
watching the
church.
fights tonight?
Where are we watching them?
I don't know. I'm not watching them.
You
You're
don't
not
care?
gonna watch them,
No, I got things to do.
What are you, my dad?
right? You hear this guy? I got things to do. I'm
things
so
to
busy.
do.
I'm so busy. What are you doing? No, I'm just watching YouTube. I'm
No,
so
I actually
busy.
have actual work to do.
Here, hold on.
I actually got to do work for Tara. So
Do work.
Let
I
me
gotta
see.
do some work.
I should tell you the fight card. I didn't check out
The
all
fight
the fight
card, dude.
It actually looks really
The
good.
first two, the main event and the co-main event are fucking solid because
Who are the two girls fighting, man? They had
I'll
a
tell you
face
right
off.
now.
I was like, oh, something going on
I will
here.
tell you right now. Give me the fight card. Show me. I hate how the setup is now.
I think Whitaker. I'll take Whitaker.
So the prelims.
It's the co-main that I'm the most interested in.
The co-main.
Let's see.
The co-main.
That's your jam.
You'll when you hear it, you'll remember it and be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, the
So-
Anderson Silva and,
and Stylebender.
So prelims are Teruto Ishihara and Kyung Ho Kang, which is a really good one. Then you got.
How do you know that's a good one? I don't know either
No,
of those. dudes.
Teruto Ishihara was the one that had like an insane fight like a couple of months ago. He's kind of like the Asian Alex Caceres kind of thing, and then
Like does a lot of kung fu.
he just does like crazy shit. And then you have
Alex Caceres was supposed to fight recently.
I think he got injured. Sam Alvey against Jimmy Crute.
I don't know who
Crute the
is.
Brute. I think that's the Welsh guy. And then Montana De La Rosa versus Nadia Kasem.
I'll take the one with
Honey
the
Yaya versus Ricky Simon is going to be a good
Yada
fight.
Yaya is a good.
Then Adesanya and Silva and Whitaker and Gastelum.
I just don't think it's a good card, but I don't think it's a pay-per-view level card.
Yeah.
So who wins? Who wins the co-main?
Oh, jeez.
The co-main.
That's the hardest one to.
If Stylebender wins that one, he goes down as probably one of the best fighters.
No, he
And-
does not. You keep saying this. You keep saying this GOAT and best fighter.
Bro, this guy's got John Jones' dick so far down his throat. Like you
There's
won't even
nobody
believe
better
it.
than John Jones, and there's only one GOAT. There's only one GOAT. What was that?
I don't know.
There's only
sneaker.
going. It's
Dude,
only.
that light
there's-
has been crushing me this whole podcast. I'm just telling you right now. That's why I'm looking weird. I'm like,
Which one? What?
that light, dude. I feel like I'm being
You're in the
interrogated.
spotlight. Yeah, you are technically.
Everybody says there's a GOAT, like he's one of the goats or one.
I think he's one of the goats.
He's a goat, but there's no way Adesanya is a goat yet. He has yet to taste. He has yet to taste a title shot. He has yet to beat anybody of note.
I think he's one of the best ones out right now.
You know who I think is better than him?
I really don't care.
Michael Venom Page.
You're fucking wrong. Get out of here. No way.
Michael Venom Page
No way.
is better than Adesanya.
Not even close.
You're crazy.
Not even close.
You're crazy.
Not even close.
Michael Venom Page is one of the most exciting fighters in MMA.
I didn't say he's not exciting.
He's better than Adesanya.
Not even close. Not even remotely
Because
close.
Adesanya, I haven't seen Adesanya. Let's see what happens when Adesanya
He
gets put on his
fucking
back.
picked apart, what's his face, Brunson? And
Yeah.
he was going for like a title shot, and he just made him look like a fucking rookie.
No, Adesanya, because I agree.
You're right.
I agree. He made Derek Brunson look terrible, but the bottom line is that's Derek Brunson, and as everybody knows, styles make fights. How do you
Well,
think?
that's what Styles make
So
fights
who's
is for
going to
show.
get hit in that fight?
Which
Because
one?
they're both defensive-minded.
Well, no,
Not defensive-minded. They're both slippers.
Yeah, but Adesanya is more of an attacker than Silva is.
Which is plays to Anderson
That
Silva.
plays the Anderson Silva's game.
Because he's a counterpuncher and he's
He's
sneaky.
I think Anderson is going to probably want to take it to the ground.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think he's
I
going to
would be
want to take it to the
surprised if
ground.
Anderson brings it to the ground.
Yeah.
And that would be a test, but it would. You can't say he's a GOAT. You can't say he's a GOAT. That's what I would say somebody who smokes crack rock would say, because he's brand new to the UFC.
You also didn't think that Amanda Nunes could beat Cyborg.
I didn't say that.
Yes,
I didn't say
did.
she couldn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I said if I said exactly this. I said exactly this. I said if Cyborg can weather the first 2 to 3 minutes with Amanda Nunes, then Cyborg's gonna win. And guess what she didn't do? She didn't weather the first 2 to 3 minutes.
I'm pretty sure it called out now. We gotta start keeping track. Actually, why don't we do that? Why don't we do that right now? Take notes. I'll go read the card and we'll make picks. Just open up the notepad. Let's do this. We'll just do the main card, even though like 90% of it is just kind of pointless.
Yeah, let's just do the main card.
Let's do the good fights.
Just write down who you want.
All right, I'll
what
tell
UFC
you.
is this?
This is 234.
UFC 234.
All right, are you taking the notes or are you texting?
I'm taking notes. I'm picking who I.
Okay, go.
All right, so for the first
not
one,
Shawn.
it's Jimmy Crute versus Sam Alvey. Who do you got?
Is that Smiling Sam?
Yeah.
Smiling
I
Sam.
gotta go with Smiling.
I'm going with Smiling Sam because I don't know Crute. I've never seen him fight, but I know Sam Alvey and I know Sam's
So
tough
Sam
and
Alvey
has
is
power.
33-11, and Jimmy is 9-0.
That doesn't mean anything.
I don't know in the regional.
Didn't Sam Alvey get knocked out last fight?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he lost his last fight.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be out for blood, and so is his wife. Who's
I'm
in his
gonna go
corner.
with Jimmy Crute on this one.
Okay.
All right, Montana De La Rosa versus Nadia Kasem.
I don't know either of those.
I think we did see Nadia fight before. I think. I'm gonna go with Nadia.
So give me some stats. Give me some.
Montana is 9-4-0, and Nadia is 5-0.
I'm taking Nadia.
I'll take the other one to the push. What's the one I'm taking? Montana.
Montana. Then you got Honey Yaya versus Ricky Simon. I'm going with Honey Yaya.
Ronnie Yaya.
Honey Yaya.
He's not Brazilian.
I don't know about anything
Pronounced
about either
Honey
one of them.
Yaya.
I don't think it is.
What are the stats?
Honey Yaya is 26-9, and Ricky Simon is 14-1.
Take Simon.
I'm taking Yaya.
Yaya.
Simon.
You're taking Simon? You're taking Simon.
I'm taking Yaya.
Yaya.
Simon.
You're taking Yaya?
Yeah.
You're taking Simon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then you got Stylebender versus Silva.
I'm taking Anderson Silva. I'm going with the old guy.
I'm going with the old guy. You know, Anderson, like, even though he had those couple of losses, he's only
This is-
34-8.
Here's the thing. This is the God's honest truth. Is I want Anderson Silva to win this one.
Yeah.
Why? I like.
I always liked him. Yeah, I always liked Anderson.
I really do. But like in this, it's like he's fighting a younger version of him.
Yeah.
That's what makes this so incredible.
Yeah. I'm going
Experience.
with.
I'm going with experience.
You're going with Silva. Who are you going with? I'm going with Stylebender. You can mark me down as Stylebender.
I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go.
What are you
Stylebender.
doing? Are you taking notes? I thought he was taking notes.
Wait, am I picking everybody?
No, I'm taking who I'm picking.
taking who
Oh,
I'm
you're
taking
taking who you're picking.
Do you
Oh,
want
Yeah.
me to tell you? Do you want to do you, Alex? Alex.
yeah,
Who you
please.
got? So you got Stylebender,
I'm gonna go with Jimmy Crute, Kasem,
Crute.
and what crest? Close enough.
Kasem.
Yep, and then Yaya, and then Adesanya. I'm going with Stylebender.
So you got Stylebender, Crute, Kasem, Yaya, and who?
And the next one is Whitaker versus Gastelum.
I'm going Whitaker.
Me too.
I like Calvin Gastelum. I think he's got an awesome style. He's got cardio for
Wait,
days.
what weight is that at?
185.
185?
Yeah,
So you
middleweight.
didn't have to. If anything, he has problems cutting weight. Who you going?
I don't know. That's tough because Robert Whitaker was smart enough to handle what's his face twice and stay calm. He even beat him with a busted knee.
And he almost lost though.
I think
he
he's
was
the
close
best.
to losing.
He's better than anybody else that Kevin Gastelum has fought. I think he's way better than anybody else that Gastelum has fought.
Sounds like.
So who are you going
Whitaker.
for?
Whitaker.
I'm going Whitaker.
I mean, Kelvin definitely has
It's
the
a hard,
ability to take a shot.
That's a hard one too.
I'm gonna go with Whitaker. I don't think Gastelum can go as long as Whitaker can.
Oh, and you're wrong. Calvin Gastelum's got gas for days.
Yeah,
He's got gas for days.
I think
he's a cardio freak.
I think he's gonna just try and take him down, and he'll just go for the overhand right repeatedly. If anything takes down Whitaker, it's gonna be Kelvin's overhand right. If Kelvin wins, but I want Whitaker to win.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got him.
We got him.
All right, so we'll figure him out as we go along. So, Pops, you got anything else to say before we hang up here?
Just knock it off. Go and get a physical.
So no. Let's be honest though. Like in all seriousness, someone has that history in their family. What route should they go?
Well, it's a birth defect, so you don't really know.
But what do they need to do to at least go start getting to find
So
out?
first thing you got to do is get a physical, and if the doctor notices anything wrong with your heart, like mine was a murmur, which is very common.
Right.
Go get a echocardiogram with Doppler. Ask your doctor if you have a family history of heart disease. Ask your doctor to order you a script. I think with insurance it was $200 it cost me. Without insurance, it's probably a $500 or $600 test, but it could save your life.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Take it from someone who's gone a large portion of their life without health insurance. There's like, I've gone with broken hands without going to the doctors. I've done all that stuff. Like certain things like that, like you can't play the tough guy on. Like you're gonna have to bite the bullet, put it on the credit card, deal with it.
Yep.
Because it's one of those things that you're gonna have to deal with it. And
Better to live in debt than die with money on your credit card.
Yeah.
like, look, man, it's at the end of the day, debt is debt. At one point or another, everyone's gonna accrue it. You got to be smart with your money for sure. But when it comes to your health, it's one of those things like you got to pay for it. And you'll be surprised. A lot of doctors are gonna sit there and be like, all right, well, we'll figure out a payment plan. Like, I mean, I went to the ER last year. And as pissed off as I was because they kind of like fucked me over on what they told me I was going to pay. But when I talked to the actual company, they're like, no, you can break it down to simple little payments, like as long as you want. As long as you pay, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it. Like I said, I went the longest time without health insurance. I didn't have health insurance. I had health insurance for 1 year, and that was only when I had my motorcycle. And then I got rid of it, and I got rid of the health insurance. And it was cheaper for me for the little things that I had, but now, fuck that, man. Like,
Yeah, so even if you're working out, even if you feel like you're in the best shape of your life, and you haven't had a physical in a while, just go get one.
yeah, I mean,
It
we
could save your life. Something as
Yeah.
a $50 copay could save your life.
yeah, and let's dead honest, you and I used to roll pretty hard, like especially like open mats or like the last like Thursday, Fridays, we would roll pretty hard, and never at any point was there any kind of thing like, oh, I might have a problem.
Yeah.
There was never where you would like it looked like to me like, you're all right. Like, well, we rolled.
There were times he would get real red. I remember like there was.
Why are you
something would be-
sweating, bro?
yeah.
Why are you
He would
sweating?
get real red, and then he would also. He was in great shape, like he could
Yeah.
roll, but he was always breathing harder than everybody else.
But here's the thing.
But that was
though.
the tension.
But here's the thing. Like, so, anybody that's been to, Skip at Synergy Del Rey, he did Orange Theory before Orange Theory was Orange Theory. And he would strap, put the heart rate monitor on you. And his thing was, really keeping you, using weight training and cardio to run through this 30-minute high-intensity training. And, I used to say to him, man, I have a history of heart disease. And he also, not only does he have a degree in physical science, but his first 6 or 7 years in the industry was cardiac rehab at the University of Arizona, their hospital. So I'm like, here I am training with this guy. And he's like, I'm basically giving you a stress test
Yeah.
every time you come here. So mentally, I was like, he's like, dude, your recovery rate is ridiculous. My resting heart rate is like in the high 40s to low 50s. and the amount of recovery, because I'd get up to 194 that was max for me. And it was right around when I was 40. So even when I was 40, 194, and then it would drop down within 2 minutes to almost resting. And I would always be concerned about pushing the limits, but I felt confident that, because you never know. And that's the moral. You never know. Like, here I am. I went to him for over 10 years before I moved 3 days a week and that type of training. And then in conjunction with training jiu-jitsu, I'm like, my heart's fine. If something was wrong, I would feel dizzy. Right. I'd have chest pains.
You're always
all these symptoms. Yeah. And I'd have high blood pressure. I'd have high cholesterol. I didn't have anything, and I still don't. And so that's the thing. You just don't know until you...
But I think, though, like, you also did take care of yourself for the most part, like, very, very
Except
well.
Pizza and wings on UFC fight nights.
Yeah, but, like, that's
barbecue
your cheat meals.
Chicken.
But
brownies.
We fucking crush brownies every week. But you trained consistently. We trained pretty well in jiu-jitsu. We never did like stupid shit to get each other hurt. Like, and even when like it's funny because you mentioned it. Like, I remember going to the doctor too when you and I were like training a lot. Same thing. My resting heart rate was like mid 40s, lower 40s.
Really good.
And like we were like training consistent, like 4 or 5 days a week. So it was like. It was pretty good. So that's like when you told me, it's like, okay, well, yeah. Like how old were you when we were training?
So I started training 44. So
like 45. So 45's like, and we're training now. I was like 32. So it's like, it'll fucking come up, man. It's definitely not a fucking joke. Probably in the next couple of years, I'll probably go and check it up on it too. But yeah, definitely don't stress out the fact that it's about money. It's like at the end of the day,
physical.
No one gives a shit, dude. As long as you make your monthly payments, you're good. And yeah, you want to pay it off as quickly as you can, but I'll take a monthly payment for being able to stay alive. You can't take it with you anyway.
Yeah.
And plus, it's good to go out with big debt and fuck over the companies, right?
Why not?
Is it true that they make like your family members pay that off?
No, they can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
I remember my mom passed away. Sears kept on calling us going, you guys just put a washing machine and dryer on your credit card. And I said, it's not my credit card. It's under my... Well, you're responsible for it, or we'll come pick it up. I said, come pick up the fucking thing. It'll be in the driveway. What day are you coming? Never showed up.
Still have that washing machine.
Still have that washing machine. No, that was 1996.
Thank God you guys put the washing machine upstairs.
In our house?
In your house. Because when Pop has to do wash, he's got to go up the stairs.
Dude, you can hear him coming from a mile away because he's breathing.
And then I know his like story that who the fuck puts
Jesus Christ
put a washing machine upstairs?
Well, it's plumbed in. I told him if he wants to buy him, we could put him in the downstairs too.
Did he soup up his little studio?
Nah, he's doing good, man. He's actually been a huge help, man, picking up the boys. Work's been crazy, so...
Used to be Friday Pop pickup day.
Yeah, that's
now
right.
It's becoming more like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, sometimes Mondays, occasionally Wednesdays.
He picks them up more than he picked you up.
Pretty much. My dad worked 2 jobs when I was their age.
He's in the Mafia, apparently.
The Mafia was... No, that was his 3rd job.
That was a third...
or maybe IBM in the gas station.
Wasn't he covers. A cop? No, he wasn't a cop.
No, my oldest brother's chief of police.
Yeah, that's right. Those stories we can't talk about on here.
Everybody thought his dad was in the Mafia because he was never around. And
he would always have new cars.
New cars.
It's funny. Did you hear what happened with the Boynton Beach police?
Which time? That's a shit show.
Like the major whatever got pulled over for speeding. You didn't hear that? These assholes. It wasn't the chief of police. It was like the major, like whatever. He got pulled over on the off ramp at Boynton doing 95. So the cop pulled him over. He's like, "Are you fucking serious? Are you serious?" He's like, "Oh, I caught you speeding. Like, you're doing 95." He's like, "No, I wasn't." He's like, "Well, how fast were you going?" "Well, I wasn't doing 95. He's like, "Well, I clocked you in at 95.
So a trooper got a Boynton cop
Boynton.
No,
a Boynton cop caught the major in Boynton doing 95. So he's like flipping of his shit. He's like, "All right," and like, you could tell the guy was nervous because like the guy was being a douche. So he's like, "Oh, so you're gonna let me off with a warning?" He's like, "Yes, sir. I'll let you off with a warning. Please drive safe." So they go, like, he's continuing on the off ramp, and the major flips up his fucking lights because he was on the other car, undercover cop car, and he's like, "What's the problem?" He's like, "Are you fucking serious? You gonna pull me over? You didn't signal to get on the off ramp. You didn't signal to do this." He's like, I don't understand what the problem
Was
is."
this all on video?
Yeah, it's all on video. They just released the video the other day. Go look it up. It's like, wow. And then they didn't even fucking like punish the guy. They put him on like desk duty for like a week. Hey, wife's calling up. We better get going. All right, guys. We're going to sign off because Tom's PO is calling him up.
It's probably Jackson.
Yeah, he's got to get going. So shout out to all of our just call him. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Tom for coming down here just to do the podcast because he loves us so much.
Thanks for having me, Alex.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad to have you on here again. First time in like 2 years.
Yeah.
So
that was the nice studio, man. Last time we were
3 years because
last time we were lying on a mat
on the
mats
mat on the
in
ground.
in the old temple.
In the old temple.
Hey, I crawled before I walk. I got to get up there. So big thanks to all of our sponsors, Choke Aloha, Jiu-Jitsu Soap, Giraffe Choke, and Nomad. Please be sure to go give them a follow, pick up some of their gear, and use the promo codes. Follow Shawn at Gorilla Boy BJJ. Don't follow Tom because he doesn't like creepers. And follow Sunder Marketing.
I'm going to give Tom's Instagram out right now. It's I_have_world_smallest_penis.
Okay.
69.
Are you done? 69. What are you on AOL? All right. So a big shout out to all of our sponsors. Thank you guys for listening. Please share the podcast, and we'll catch you all next time without Tom. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.